Hey everyone, welcome to From the Depths. I'm Menti, and this is episode 9 of the Battleship Brawl Season 5 tournament. This episode, we've got the HNMS Norge by FWS Kungen. And I probably mispronounced several things there, but I do what I can. Now let's go ahead and do the unpause thing so the barrels are the proper size and it doesn't look funky while I'm giving the overview. So, got a pretty, well, the bow's got that sawtooth thing going on, but then it's just kind of flat all the way to the back and then curves around. There's a nice rounded shape in the back. And up here in the front, we've got some faux anti-aircraft guns, it looks like. The ship is armed with 4x4 cram cannons as its main guns. Got a pretty cool looking superstructure up here. Looks like maybe some more anti-aircraft guns, or maybe those are supposed to be like telescopes or something. I'm not sure. And we've got the ladders going up the scaffolding. Got some guys up here. That guy's head's on a little bit backwards. And some more AA guns and whatnot, and anchors in the back here. Or no, that's the front. Burp, I went the wrong way. Anchors in the front. No anchors in the back. Got some more decorative guns on the deck there. And we've got the propellers and rudders and all that good stuff back here. Pretty well protected. Just a little bit of a fantail. Some lifeboats along the side. It's a pretty decent looking ship overall. I can't say I'm a fan of the hull shape, but the details of like all the guns and the superstructure and all that stuff are pretty good. So it's a nice looking ship. And with that, we will fly over here to its opponent, the Polaris by Delta Force. And Delta Force, you're a smart ass. No ifs, ands, or buts about it. I say no gun barges. So what do? You build a literal cargo ship. uh, gun barge in technicality, but not really by the rules. I was very amused when I saw that. We've got ladder in the superstructure there. Some lifeboats. She's sitting a little low in the water. She'll probably pop up a little once the battle starts. And yes, I don't know why only half of the turrets have spawned are like, pointing like they should right now. They'll all pop up when it comes. But yes, this is a mortar boat. Which will be interesting to see in action. Got the funnel back here. Big old steam props, I think. Are those actual steam props, or are those just decorative and the actual propulsion is somewhere else? I'm not sure. I guess we'll find out once the ship moves, which will be here in just a moment. I like how the little cargo container is like strapped down to the deck. That's a pretty cool detail. Though I'm not sure just one chain across the middle would actually hold them in all that well. But yeah, this is the Polaris by Delta Force. Both pretty good looking ships in my opinion, but while that's important, what also is important is how they fight. So let's go ahead and get this battle started. Okay, now I'm curious about those props in the back. Yeah, they're actual steam props, but I thought they had to have like a continuous shaft or something. I don't know. And there go the mortars, getting a shot off just before the first volley of the Kungen hits, blowing off a whole bunch of those cargo containers, which get repaired quite quickly. Polaris taking some bad hits. The first volley from the Polaris finally getting close to landing. Oh, landing right on top of a couple of guns. Definitely did some more hits. Forward gun. Looks like 2 of the barrels at the very least are still functional. Ooh, those high explosive shells are painful. The Norge is, or did I call it the Kungen? It's made by FWS Kungen. It's the Norge. I am sorry about that. But when do I ever get names right? The Norge here is just getting shelled into oblivion, and it's doing damage to the Polaris in return, but it's just repairing it. Quite quickly. That shell got particularly deep. Oh, well, there goes the hull. Never mind. Yeah, the Norge is just having a very difficult time making any damage stick to the Polaris. Meanwhile, there's just a constant stream of high explosive shells raining down up on this poor battleship. Excuse me. Seems to have had all of its guns knocked out by the rain of high explosives. Well, this one looks like it should still be functional, at least one barrel there. Yeah, but it's even got 3 barrels, as a matter of fact. But if it was having trouble making damage stick with its full armament, one gun certainly isn't going to do anything. I mean, really, considering the number of hits the Norge is taking here, it is weathering, you know, the storm fairly well. It's just its guns did not survive the storm, which, you know, that's a little bit important. I mean, yeah, the Norge is getting pounded pretty hard, but oh wow, the bow here is almost severed. Not that it matters. It is 2 damaged. Oh, the bow did get severed in the end. And there we go. Let's let that last shell land. Wait, did it? Oh no. Okay. So the Polaris by Delta Force getting a commanding victory in round 1 here. So yeah, 99.4, or no, it's 0 to 99.4. Yeah, there we go. I'm gonna set these back to 0 so I don't screw things up. And then away to round 2 we will go. Camera put me on the wrong side there that time. Sometimes it does that. Usually it does it on the right side. That was on the left. You know, whatever. Round 2 underway. I feel like the Kungan really needs to score some early hits that disable the Polaris' weapons. Or at least some of them. If it wants to win this. Because if those guns stay active, they will whittle the Kung. Did I call it the Kungan again? The Norge. Jeez. I blame having sleep issues and waking up far too early, which is why this video is coming out so soon. Oh, the Polaris is down to 95%. It did take a... Wait, why am I going over to the Norge? I was already at the Polaris. Again, sleep. It has taken quite a bit of damage this time around. Far more than it did in the first round. But the Norge is down further. But it has taken mostly a beating to its superstructure in the middle there. And other than some barrel damage, its guns seem to be in fine condition. So of course, there's probably some shells heading for one right now. Well, this rear gun got hit, but it seems that hitting directly on the top doesn't quite do it against these guns. Polaris feeling like it got a little bit too close and is turning away. Launches more and more and more shells, while the Norge is firing back, scoring some good hits against the side of the Polaris here. Dug deep in the underside over here. But those guns are carefully hidden away in the middle of the ship and are quite difficult to damage when attacking from the side. They're also very good at obscuring the deck of the ship. Oh yeah, see, shots like that, those are what you need to do some damage to the Polaris' weaponry. Because if you can sever just the first few blocks of those guns, they're not going to be able to fire properly. Because then the barrel will be down in the hull of the ship. So some high-arcing HE shells, not necessarily mortars, but mortars would definitely do it, would be much more effective in taking down the weaponry of the Polaris, I think. And the Polaris has lost half of its guns, it seems. Are those cheeky things still firing even though they're... Oh, they're not actually that severed. Okay, never mind. They may have been repaired is the thing. Yeah, I think they've been repaired. Ooh. See, that just took out... I think 4 of the guns here. Oh my god, I can't see anything! Oh, if it did take them out, they've been 2 of them have been repaired now. Ooh, Norge is Doing a bit of capsizing here. Oh, jeez. The dang ship's almost cut in half. I almost kind of hope more shells land right in here, because I kind of want to see that happen. Well, there was one. Oh, that is... Yep. The Norge's back has been broken. The ship was cut in half. And that is going to be the end of the round. So 97.5% for the Polaris this time. Not as good as in the first round. Not as good as in the first round. But, not that big of a difference, that's for sure. And I mean, it pulled a Bane. Snapped the Norge's back in two. It basically split the ship in half. That was impressive. We don't see that very often. But anyway, here we go with round 3. Go ahead and get things underway once more. Polaris taking some hits that almost hit one of the guns, but not quite. The Norge has some pretty good firepower. It has an issue. Its guns die a lot more easily than the Polaris's do, and even if it does manage to disable some of the guns, like these right here, they kind of get repaired pretty quickly. Because it's really only barrel damage, probably. I doubt there's any actual damage to the cram components down in there. Of course, it's impossible to find out, because you can never... Ooh! That was some damage to a cram there. We saw those barrels go small. So that was a perfect strike, it seems. That's exactly what the Norge needs to do to win, is... smash down some of the Polaris' many guns. And it needs to do it consistently, because those are getting repaired. It also needs its guns to, you know, stay alive, which is a little hard to do when you're constantly getting bombarded by, you know, big old high explosive shells. Yeah, see, that guy just lost 3 of its barrels. Also, I'm not sure, but it seems to me, based upon how the Norge is firing, that it might have different AIs for each gun, which in this case is not helping it, because spreading out the damage across the Polaris is pretty much the worst thing you could do if you're not taking out the guns in the process. Oh, you know what it probably is those barrels got damaged and they've been repaired, but they're probably doing that thing where the barrels go invisible when they get repaired. Well, we can see some of them. Norge in bad shape. Excuse me, bad shape once more. But it has actually done a significant amount of damage to the the Polaris this time. It's down to 93% and is used almost all of its materials. Without those repairs, I don't think the Polaris would do as well. I have a feeling that without those repairs, the shots would be able to core in and take out those guns a bit more easily. Uh-oh. Norge suddenly lost a ton of HP again. Did it have it had its back broken once again. It was cut in half a second time. Yeah, I knew as soon as that oh no, I'm gonna let that shell land. It did get off one more shot. Why won't it unpause? Go, jeez. It got off that one last shot before it started despawning. And it missed. So yeah, 99.3 for the Polaris this time. Though, in reality, it took the most damage this match than it did in any of the other, or well, this round, than it did in any other round of the match. Because I don't think it got down below, like, 10,000 materials on the other rounds. I could be wrong, but pretty sure it didn't get down to 2K. That's for sure. So yeah. And 99.3 for this one. So yeah, that's kind of a difference in scoring there. Just a little bit. But the Polaris did dominate the Norge in this match. It was a very interesting fight. It's good to see mortars actually being effective. But yeah, thanks for watching, folks. I hope you enjoyed, and I'll see you on the battlefield.